Okay, class, we're going to talk about how to read two-way tables and get a fraction or a percentage out of um, out of it. So when we look at problems 11 through 13, we want to take a look at how the questions are worded and how that's going to tell me what to do. So number 11 is talking about skin cancer and tanning booths. Those are the two variables. All right, and you see that in the two-way table. The question here says, of the people in the study who had skin cancer, what fraction used a tanning booth? So the thing that you want to highlight here is what total am I taking this fraction from, right? So it'll always give you this language of who, right? So of something will kind of tell you what your fraction is going to look like. So in this case, it's of the people in the study who had skin cancer. So I'm looking at the people in the study that had skin cancer, and that's this row right here. Okay, so when it's of those people, the total is what's on the bottom. And so it's the total of skin cancer because that's the of part. So I put 896 at the bottom of my fraction. That should be a 6. Okay, so that's that part. The next part is like, then which group of people within that do I care about? And it's the fraction that used a tanning booth. So when I look at this skin cancer group, how many used the tanning booth? That's here. So my number is 190. And that's my answer, B, for number 11. You don't need to reduce or anything like that because that's something else. That's not what they're asking for here. All right, let's take a look at two more examples. So here's our NFL team. All right, we've got the AFC, NFC, like that's the division that they're in for one of the variables, and then mascot as the other variable. So let's take a look at what it's asking for number 12. Number 12 is asking approximately what percent of teams have a non-animal mascot. So let's take a look at first of the total that we want to take this out of. And it says the percent of, so there's that of teams, right? So that's everybody. We took this out of all teams. So where's the total there? Right here. That's everyone, the total totals, right? You have total and total. So when it's out of everyone, we're going to use this number here for our denominator. And from there, which number do we care about for like out of the teams? So it's the percent of teams that have non-animal mascots. So when we see non-animal mascots and we're in the totals, I should be in the total column here. And how many non-animal mascots are there? And, out of all the teams, 17. So that's the fraction. This question asks for a percent, so I plug that into the calculator, 17 divided by 32, and I get a decimal. It's 0.531 something, okay? When it said nearest percent, I only need the whole percentage. And so when we have a decimal, what do we do to convert that to a percentage? You could do two things. Some people like to just multiply that number by 100 and see what they get, because percent is like out of 100. Or you can move the decimal place 2 spaces. So it's really like 53.1%. And since it's the whole number, I'm going to round up. 1 is not going to change that 53. So the answer here is 53%. Okay, so remember that when you're rounding for the next problems. The last one here, number 3, is talking about what fraction of the NFC teams have animal mascots? So let's take a look at that problem set and see what we do there. So the first thing you want to ask is of what, right? So it's of teams in the NFC. Okay, so we'll use green here because all I care about are the teams in the NFC. So I'm going to highlight this group, if my pen works, that are in the NFC. Okay, and the denominator is going to be the total in that group, which is 16. And out of that group, we care about animal mascots. So that's here. And the number that's in that group that's an animal mascot is 8. So you'll see in your answer choices that 8 over 16 is, in fact, your B. So there you have it. All right, so take a look at that and